Hey plant fam! Welcome back to our channel. My name is Jacqueline. This is my cat Crash, aka Crash Your Pants, aka Dirty Little Leaf Nibbler. This is our jungle, sort of, in my bedroom, but it's extending. It's extending into the other room. So yeah, I got a greenhouse and I'm gonna show you what's inside my greenhouse. And we're gonna put the cat down because he's not happy. He's not happy at all. I love you. Okay. So yeah, my greenhouse. It's just honestly one of those cheap ones from Amazon, but it's functional. So I'm gonna show you what I have going on in there. Okay, so this is the setup as it is right now. It's not complete. It's still a work in progress. I need more grow lights for the bottom. I've got a lot of just like storage and stuff going on down there, but I asked you guys on Instagram and you said you wanted to see what was going on in here. So this is, I got it on Amazon for $30 and it's a good size. I mean, I'm gonna back up and show you guys. Okay, so I think that you can see how big it is if I'm standing next to it. So I'm like 5'8"-ish. So yeah, I ideally would like to get a nicer one day, like one of those IKEA ones, but this will do for now. I'm just gonna open it up. Okay, so I'm gonna be a tease and start at the bottom and make my way up because all the good stuff is at the top. I just kind of have some supplies hanging out down here. I've got a Variegated Maranta that I had in water for the longest time and decided to pot it up and see if it would die or not in the greenhouse. I mean, it's doing okay, I think. I don't know. It's got some brown, let me see. Yeah, it's really not. It's not happy, but hopefully some more time in the greenhouse will help it be happy. I've got some silverian that's not quite so silvery over here. I have got over here just some like honestly just threw a pot in here, and then I have these random cuttings in this like container that I reused. Actually, I think that this is my cashew cheese from Trader Joe's. I highly recommend it. Fiesta dip. Okay, anyway, in here I have some black pagoda lipstick plant propagating, and then some Curtisii cuttings propagating that are like way too cluttered, but it's fine. And then back here, if you haven't been paying attention, I found some Hoya Chelsea at Home Depot. So I just kind of plopped it in the greenhouse and left it there. I haven't cleaned it up yet. It was a little bit overwatered and I didn't want to get it wet again, if that makes sense. So this thing is legitimately beautiful. I don't know if you can even tell, honestly. The light over here is terrible from the grow light, but she's stunning. And I love her. I don't even know what else to say. So yeah, this plant is mostly for propagating. And then I'm gonna grow some plant babies to share with you guys over on my Etsy. I'm just totally obsessed with, like, look at how big these leaves are. They're crazy. I love them. I just gotta clean her up. She's got tons of new growth going on. And yeah, this isn't the only one that I have. So I felt like I had to rescue them from Home Depot. The other one that I got is a little bit damaged, so she's just chilling in the other room. But I have this one in here for now. Not getting a ton of light down here, but getting enough that, you know, it'll be okay until I sort things out in here. So I think that's it for what's on the bottom here. I keep my mister in here to make sure that my moss stays moist, because some of these containers I don't have tops on them. I need to buy some larger containers. Right now I'm just kind of making do with what I have and reusing food containers and stuff like that. Okay, and then the second shelf here, I have some more propagations going on and a couple of little plants. So I'm going to start over here. I have some Hoya Crimson Queen cuttings that I propagated in moss, and then I popped them in here. These leaves were damaged and I didn't want to throw them away, so I figured I would get them to root up and then maybe hopefully they would put out some new leaves eventually and could have a new plant to share with somebody. So there's that. And then I have this weird little succulent that honestly, I had it in my window. I forget what it is. I had it in my window and it was just getting dry all the time and it was so thirsty. So I got really annoyed with it and I was like, I'm putting it in the greenhouse where it's going to be moist all the time. And it's really happy in here. So I'm just leaving it in here. And then I have this little Peperomia pudiolata, or a parallel Peperomia baby that I bought recently to pot up with another one that I have that's literally just one sad little vine. So, and then in the back here, I don't really want to take it out, but I have my Homolamina, just the emerald green, and she's a little thirsty right now, but otherwise, I don't know if you could tell, she's got some new growth. She was like okay in my bedroom, but I could definitely tell that she was really thirsty and getting kind of crispy and wanting more moisture and more humidity. So I threw her in here and she seems to be happy. So she just lives in here now. And then up here I have some propagations that I need to move because this moss just doesn't stay moist without a top on it. But I do have a few things going on in here that I can show you. I've got some Monstera Sonya. I feel like I need a deeper container too. So keep in mind that this is my first time really propagating some of these plants in moss. I've been successful with Hoya and lipstick plants so far. It's kind of semi-experimental, if that makes sense. I have some Siltepecana cuttings going on over here, some of them not doing so great, but some of them are totally fine and happy. Some of them are even just pushing out some new growth. I don't know what's up with this plant. It like just doesn't seem to like me sometimes and I can't figure out why. But we're trying here. And then I literally took some pieces of jade and plopped them in here. I don't know if they'll root like this. I've never tried to root succulents in moss, but they seem happy. Like, I don't know. I just happen to have the cuttings from my mom's plant and I literally threw them in here. And then I have this Hoya Diptera cutting that I just took last night because these two leaves, when I bought them, they were damaged, and I'm only assuming that this happened from too much sun exposure when the leaves were immature and still kind of soft. That will happen with Hoya, so you have to be careful. I figured I would cut it and try and root it and see if I can get it to grow new leaves that are happier than those. So, and then I have some Cissus discolor. This leaf got a little bit damaged, but it's still rooting. So again, I'm hoping it'll put out something new. So this one is still happy, still holding on, and I think it's rooting. These damn fungus gnats, I swear, they're like gonna be the death of me. And then I've got some Silvery Ann cuttings rooting in here. I've got some Peperomia, what is this, Serpens, hopefully rooting in here. I tried to root these in water and it was semi-successful, so I definitely need to transfer all of this and organize it better, but this is kind of like my little experimental container there. And then back here we have the more successful container. So I have just like a big Ziploc bag. I always leave it a little bit open. And in here I have all of my variegated lipstick plant cuttings. So the moss in here stays way more moist in the plastic bag. Even though it's in the greenhouse, it's still, the moss like will dry out if I don't cover it. So these I haven't checked. They haven't been in here for very long, but I haven't needed to re-moisten it at all. So I think that's a good thing. And they all still feel nice and firm, and they look happy and healthy, and hopefully we will get a whole bunch of new plant out of this, because I basically cut back the whole entire plant. It was attached to like just this one vine with a bunch of branches kind of coming off of it, and it just looked really awkward and it didn't seem happy. So I cut it up, and we're hoping that it'll be okay. I still have the original plant, was like very well rooted with a couple of little pieces in a pot in my room. I am gonna do a tour of like all of my bedroom plants soon, and like my new grow lights and everything I have set up for winter. I just wanted to give you guys a peek. I do also have stuff like this going on in here, if you can tell. So these are 2 Hoya Chelsea leaves that I rooted in moss. They only took a few weeks to get some really nice roots on them in this same method here with the container inside the plastic bag. And I wanted to pot them up and let them get nice and established in some nursery containers before shipping them out. And hopefully they'll put out some new growth and be happy, and I'll be able to sell you guys a more like established plant and not just like, you know, one little leaf. I know that plenty of people would be happy with the one little leaf, but I don't know. These plant prices are so outrageous these days, and as you can tell, I have so much of this plant to share, and I did that intentionally because I want to be able to grow these for you guys and share them with you, because I enjoy it and I want to be able to share these plants at a normal, reasonable price, you know, taking into consideration the time and the money that it takes me to grow the plants and ship them and package them and all of that stuff. So, you know, that's all. That's all I'm saying. And these are both really happy too, nice and stiff. And hopefully they're just rooting away. They've been in here for maybe about a week in the soil. And then next, hiding back here, we have my Peperomia caprata. So look at the color on this thing. Like, seriously, I can't even handle it. I struggle with peperomias like this. I know a lot of people do as well. And I think that what it really comes down to mostly is they don't like to be dry. They like to be a little bit more moist, not super wet, and they like humidity. Honestly, this is the only peperomia that I've ever bought that hasn't dropped like all of its leaves within the first couple of weeks of me getting it. So I think that it's really not anything special going on here aside from the fact that I bought it, I took care of it, treated it, and then I put it in the greenhouse. It's just living its best life in the greenhouse, honestly. Like, look at this thing. Look at the colors. Isn't that not crazy? It looks like blood. It's my vampire plant. Okay, don't mind my... We're just sitting on the floor. And then I have this container going on, which is also kind of an experiment because these plants, I don't know, they just don't look happy. And I don't know why. But I've got some Pothos Mandula going on in here, and this plant wasn't happy when I put it in here to begin with, so I don't know what's going to happen there. This global green, or is this the regular green one that she sent me, is doing perfectly fine. It's 100% happy. And then I have some Enjoy cuttings that were in soil and they were not doing well. I rooted it in water and they were fine. Put them in soil, it was fine, and then all of a sudden it just looked really sad, so I decided to take it out. and put it in moss, and it still looks sad, but it's okay. It's fine. And then we have this Scindapsus Splash, which like is sort of okay. It's a little curly, but otherwise like it seems reasonably happy. And then this is the global green, right? I can't remember the names of these Pothos. I'm sorry. I have an unboxing video where I say all the names of these, so you can watch that if you want to. I'll link it for you. This one is doing perfectly fine. It's very happy. So I don't know what the issue is with the Mandula and the Enjoy. I think the Scindapsus should be okay. They are all like rooting. It's just hard to tell, but again, I should probably move them to a better container, but that would require me going and actually getting a bigger container. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. My allergies are terrible and I keep like sniffling and having to clear my throat. So this is my watermelon peperomia. I don't know why I said it like that, but look at it. It's so cute. Honestly. Again, not good with peperomia, but my friend Bruna actually propagated these for me, and she just gave them to me. You know, it was like 2 little leaves, and then this guy is rooted, but you know, hasn't put out anything new, but these 2 leaves both did. Okay. So I've got 2 little baby peperomia, watermelon peperomia leaves going on in there, and she propagated it this way in the soil, I think, directly, just with the plastic bag over it. So, and she wrote the date on here that she put it in there. So it's been in there since the end of August, and we've got 2 little baby leaves, and they're super stinking cute. Okay, so next in here we have my Transcantia Nanook. Is that how you say it? I don't know. All I know is it's beautiful and I love it. I love the way the light comes through it. Looks really cool. I'm just letting this dude chill in here and grow, and then eventually, you know, I can propagate it and share it with you guys. I bought it in a really little container and brought it home and potted it up in this larger one, and it definitely seems happy. So definitely happy in the greenhouse too. I don't have to water it so much. And this is just a kind of like a sad looking Hoya Princess that needs water. It's being neglected in the corner. I don't know. It's kind of just like a backup plant. It was sent to me with like another order of Hoya that I got. So Hoya Crimson Princess. And then we have, this one breaks my heart. It's my sad Mikens. Some of the leaves are coming back, so that's good and promising, but as you can tell, some of them are also just donezo and kind of on their way out. So what had happened was I had this in a hanging basket and I watered it, and then I forgot to dump out the excess water from the bottom. I think it got a little waterlogged, and then I was afraid to water it, so then it got like really, really dry, and I thought it was a complete and total goner, and then I decided to just kind of plop it in the greenhouse and see what happened. And lo and behold, a few days later, some of these leaves, as you can see, came back. They've got their shape back and they're stiff again. So I'm confident that maybe if I just like trim back some of this sad vine here, that this plant might actually bounce back and that we might actually have a happy Mikens one day. But yeah, that was my fault. I accidentally mistreated her, and I deserve this fate, I suppose. Are you ready for what's going on up here? Because I'm not sure that I'm even ready for it. I'm gonna start with the simple stuff. I mean, like, can we just appreciate for a second though? Like, I should give you a little pan of what goes on in here. Like, hello, can you say some gorgeous plants are in this greenhouse? Okay, anyway. So this is my Peperomia serpens that I told you I rooted in water, then I put it in soil, then it didn't seem happy, blah, blah, blah. I put it in the greenhouse hoping to make it happy. So it hasn't been in here long, but so far it's not dying. And yeah, yay. And then we have my Hoya linearis, which is a Hoya that likes to be a little bit more on the moist side. So I figured I'd pop it in here under a grow light. I lost a little bit of it on this side here. So I don't know. I just wanted to try and see if it will grow. It's put out these two new little things here since I've had it, and otherwise it's done nothing. So I made the mistake of putting it in terracotta. I definitely don't recommend putting your Hoya in terracotta, especially some of the more thirsty ones, but you live and you learn. I just got to water it a little bit more often than other plants. So, and over here I have my variegated string of pearls that is like sad AF, but I'm going to repot it. We do have some new growth, so like that's promising, but I'm going to repot it into something smaller. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And then keep it under this grow light in here, and I think that it'll be happy. I also recently picked up this Scindapsus Truebi Moonlight, and naturally I'm obsessed with it. Got a little yellow leaf here. When I got it, my friend actually picked this up for me at Nellie's flower shop in Brooklyn. I wasn't able to go with her that day, but she was sweet enough to pick up a couple of plants for me. And I appreciate you, girl. You have no idea. I am still like in awe over this plant. And where was I going with this story? Get it together, Jackie. This plant was a little bit sad when she picked it up. And I don't know if it had maybe just been wet for too long or in the cold maybe. I have no idea, but I immediately put it in the greenhouse, and if you saw on my Instagram stories, I did show what it looked like at night when I put it in there, as opposed to literally the next morning. It looked a lot happier, and if you go look at that, and I can show it to you actually on the screen. Compared to now, the leaves are a lot stiffer. They're nice and flat. They're happy. They're not curled under. I think this might have been some new growth that came in recently too. And yeah. This is my Scindapsus Truebi Moonlight that's been on my wish list for a really long time. And Nellie's has actually surprisingly some reasonable prices for plants that you can buy in person. I think this one was like $35 for this size pot, which is not bad at all. So yeah, shout out to Nellie's. I also picked up this Hoya Sunrise from Nellie's, or rather she picked it up for me. $45 for this little plant is kind of a lot, but honestly it's so stinking cute that I don't even care, and it's gonna grow, and I'm gonna propagate it, and it's gonna be fine. I have it under the grow light now for, I don't know, a week or two, and probably longer than that. I'm really bad at gauging time. Look at this cute little baby leaf. So it is starting to get a little sun stressed, which is why it has its name, Hoya Sunrise. So yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, they still have some of these plants in stock. So if you're in the Brooklyn area, they have some Hoya Sunrise. I saw in larger baskets on their Instagram page just the other day. I don't even know where to go next. This is my Philodendron Brandonum that I picked up a while back. You would have seen in like my last haul video and my like rare plant shopping video. When I went to go repot this, I discovered that these were just a bunch of semi-rooted cuttings that were thrown into a pot, and it just, honestly, this has just been happening a lot with this plant, and I keep losing leaves. So I don't know why it's unhappy. It's got some new growth. It's just coming in like really, really little. I don't know why it comes in with some of these like smaller leaves, and they're like deformed, but I'm working on figuring it out. I know a lot of other people kind of like struggle with this plant. I put it in the greenhouse hoping that that will help because I have another one in here that I picked up. Considering this one was not doing well, I wanted to grab another one that I was able to get for a good price. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out so that I can help you guys figure it out. But if you have any care tips for this plant, help a sister out. So I'm hoping that some increased humidity will help this babe be a little bit happier, because it's definitely helping a lot of these other plants. This Monstera Adansonii wide form. My hair keeps getting stuck in the plants behind me here. That's why I'm laughing. This one is from Emma's garden. You would have seen me pick this one up either at Michael's garden gate or at 14th Street, because I have two of them. There's another one hiding behind this Hoya here. I'm just gonna leave it up there. But they're both from Emma's. They were both around like $14 or $15 each. So yeah, that's that story. Honestly, this is just one of my favorite plants. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with this leaf here. It's really cool. So yeah, I've got a couple of those, letting those babies grow. I've got another Tetrasperma in here that I picked up recently. Let me see if I can get in here. Okay, so this is my Tetrasperma that I picked up recently. Don't know if you can tell. It's very happy. It got a little bit burnt under the grow light, so I moved it, but that's okay because we've got lots of new growth over here. Honestly, this thing is too big for this greenhouse, but it is what it is. It's happy. And then we've got my, you would have seen me get this at 14th Street too, my string of turtles. You guys, I don't even want to move this plant because if you can't tell, it's literally growing like it's crazy. It's growing so long. When I bought it, it was barely trailing. I can show you guys a picture, or you can click on the footage for the 14th Street video. But it's so crazy. Look at it. I can't even believe it. And then over here I have this, oh gosh, what is it called? It's some silver something string of hearts. So like the leaves apparently are supposed to be more silvery. I don't know if they've reached their maximum silver potential, but they're growing and they're super cute, so we just let them chill. And then I have this new Mikens because, oh, my microphone. I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta move out of here. So then back here I have my new Mikens. Since the one down here is sad, I decided to pick up a new one that I was able to get for $18.99. And it's got some really nice, happy, big leaves on it that are growing nice and tall, if you could tell back there. This is also a grow light that I got from, I think it's called House Bright. I'm going to link that for you guys too, because it's actually one of my favorite grow lights, and they sent it to me, and I'm going to be reviewing it. And yeah, they have codes and stuff for discounts and whatnot, so I will share all of that with you guys in the description box below. Moving on, I have this Brandonum in the corner. I don't want to move it because, like I said, this is my replacement plant just in case the other one doesn't make it. So I don't know if you could tell how big and tall this is. It's actually growing and touching the top of the greenhouse. And I have my second Adansonii here. I skipped over my variegated string of hearts. How could I do that? But yeah, it's my variegated string of hearts. Super cute, lots of new growth coming out of everywhere. Very happy in the greenhouse with all this top-down light. And I think I finally am able to keep a string of something alive. Multiple strings. Look at how happy they are. I can't handle these turtles. Look at them. They're so stinking cute. Okay, and then over here, this was my number one wish list plant. I'm gonna pull you out and then I'm gonna pull this out, even though you can already see what it is. So this is my Hoya Callistophylla. This was my number one wish list plant for like, I don't even know how long. So the fact that I have it, I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I can't even believe it. I can't even handle how beautiful this plant is. One also came from Nellie's. It needs to be repotted and like trellised and all of that. I haven't wanted to move it from its container yet just because I wanted to make sure it could properly acclimate and get happy. Yeah, so it's a very happy plant, and this is the only leaf that had damage on it, but otherwise the rest of them are super happy. So this one was $100, which is the most I've ever paid for a plant in my life, but I think it has like 12 leaves I counted, and compared to the prices that people are paying for like 3 or 4 leaves and stuff like that, I'd say that $100 to be able to pick this plant up in person is a good deal compared to other ones on the market right now. So it doesn't have any new growth, but it does have lots of like aerial roots going on. So like I'm pretty confident that this thing is gonna grow and be happy, and I will probably trim it and take some cuttings eventually and try and propagate them. I'm just like afraid to right now. I need some time to get to know this plant and yeah, make sure that it's nice and happy before I go scissor happy on it. You feel me? Do you feel me? So yeah, I think that's it for my tour, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna turn you around so you can see my face. Ooh, I look like a mess. Okay, yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me and all of my beautiful wish list plants. Like, what? I can't even believe that I have this plant in my possession. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. And I hope that you enjoyed this, even though I'm a little all over the place and I can't breathe. My allergies are crazy. My asthma is killing me, but we did it. That is my greenhouse, and I hope that you liked it. And I will update you guys as we go and keep showing you how these plants are growing and what is successful and what hasn't been successful when it comes to propagating different plants. So, yeah. That's it. I'm gonna shut up now and go. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.